Good morning and welcome to our webinar, Activities in Our Homes, hosted by Athena Care Homes and delivered by Holly Savage, who works at our care home, Amberley Hall in Kings Lynn. My name's Lisa and I work with the regional team at Athena Care Homes. This webinar is being recorded and we can send you the link after if you want to follow up on anything. Please can you mute your mics, turn your cameras off if you prefer, and if you've got any questions use the chat box function and we can raise them with Holly at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, I'll hand over to young Holly to introduce herself. I know she's raring to go. So over to you, Holly.
Hi, some of you might have met me before. My name's Holly. I've worked for Athena for 4 years now. Started off at Aria Court as a receptionist, which is where you might recognise me from. I then went on to work for our regional team and spent just over 2 years working with the activities teams across the care homes and really starting to boost the activities in the home. So that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today, the activities in our homes. So I will start sharing my screen and show you our presentation. So today I'm specifically going to talk to you about fitness and fun, activities in our care homes and their role in fall prevention. We start talking about activities in general and look at what activities help. They help keep an active body, which helps maintain mobility and coordination, muscle and bone strength. They encourage appetite, which leads to better nutrition. But sadly, if we have a lack of activities in our homes, that can lead to increased anxiety and depression, confusion and disorientation, and decreased alertness. So exercise falls into 5 main categories, and we're going to look at those now. We have strength building, balance, flexibility, endurance, and aerobic. So if we're looking at strength building, from the age of 30, people can lose up to 8% of their muscle strength every decade. By the time people reach 80, they can have the potential to lose 40% of muscle strength. And some exercises specifically help you build muscle, like resistance bands and gardening. Balance exercises help improve your balance by helping you build up core strength. This is especially helpful for people who are at risk of falls, including the elderly, but it's good for everyone to start. You can play bowls, or Tai Chi is a really good way of maintaining balance. Flexibility is really important and much overlooked when people think about exercise. Staying flexible improves your quality of life, and if you sit for long periods of time each day, you'll notice that your flexibility decreases. So you can use things like yoga or dancing to improve that. You improve your endurance by doing an activity for increasing periods of time. For example, if you only walk for 10 minutes without needing to rest, you can improve your endurance by walking as far as you can several times a day and increasing how far you go each time. Good endurance exercises are walking, as mentioned, or swimming. Now, aerobic exercise is typically what we think about when we're talking about exercise. It makes you breathe harder and builds your fitness up. And this is the type of exercise that we'll have for Zumba or cycling. We look a little bit closer at falls in the country. People aged 65 and older have the highest risk of falling, and that makes up a lot of our residents in our care homes. Around a third of people aged 65 and over, and around half of people 80 and over, fall at least once a year. Falling is a cause of distress, pain, injury, loss of confidence, and loss of independence. And the Public Health Outcomes Framework reported that in 2017 to 2018, there were around 220,000 emergency hospital admissions related to falls among patients aged 65 and over. Around 146,000 of these patients were aged 80 and over. And for the health services, they're both high volumes and costly. Why is it frozen? There we are. So if we're looking at activities and how they can prevent falls, there are a couple of different things we can do. If we do regular strength exercises and balance exercises, we can improve your strength and balance and reduce the risk of having a fall. There's evidence that taking part in regular Tai Chi sessions can reduce the risk of falls, and Tai Chi places particular emphasis on movement, balance, and coordination. This can take the form of simple activities as well, such as walking, dancing, or specialist physiotherapy. And if you have a history of falls, doing exercise can improve your strength and balance, flexibility, and will help you be stronger and more confident on your feet as well. If you're like me and the thought of exercise can sometimes be a little bit daunting, maybe you want to look at the things that you can do that are more fun. So gardening is something that we're really keen on doing in our care homes. We're digging, lifting, carrying and weeding, and that indeed constitutes an excellent whole body workout. And here are some of our residents and staff enjoying our gardens. Playing an instrument is a form of exercise. Playing the piano, guitar or drums takes a lot of upper body strength, and playing for extended periods of time can help build muscle while also improving your posture and increasing your stamina. Dancing. Research has found that dancing improves strength and muscle function in older adults, as well as increasing balance and flexibility, leading to a better stability and fewer injuries. Dancing can also improve your cardiovascular health, which will decrease your chances of developing heart disease. And who doesn't like to dance? There are lots of games that we have in the care home that can help improve your physical health too, such as bowling. Bowling is especially good form for exercise for seniors. Depending on your weight and bowling style, you may burn up to 250 calories per hour bowling. This exercise increases the resident's endurance, speeds up the resident's metabolism, and helps the resident maintain bone density. Bowling is a whole body exercise. If we take a closer look at exercise and dementia and some of the benefits there, we can see that exercise in relation to dementia improves the ability to dress, clean, cook, and perform other daily activities. It also improves cognition, and studies have shown that exercise may improve memory and slow down mental decline. We provide opportunities for social interaction and reducing the feeling of isolation. We improve mood, confidence, and self-esteem. And once again, we're reducing the risk of falls by improving strength and balance. This year, all of our care homes have been taking part in the National Activity Provider Association's Year of Moving and Grooving. We've done a couple of different things to get involved. And this campaign is to support the care sector to provide physical activity with the aim of improving physical, psychological and social well-being. Try to say that quickly. We've worked with NAPA to increase the physical activities in our care homes and supported them on their NAPA Wellbeing Walk in May 2021. Amberley personally took part in this activity by having an indoor sports day because we were rained off. And our central team took part by doing a walk that was the equivalent of the distance between their two furthest care homes, one in Ipswich and one in Kings Lynn. So we've talked to you about activities in our homes, but I'll give you a little bit of an example of what we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks. As you can see, there's a heavy influence for physical activities lately. We've even got our own Olympics coming up with events such as shot put beanbag and hook a duck, my personal favourite. If you've enjoyed today's talk and you want to learn a little bit more about exercise in care homes or exercise in general and how they can prevent falls, there are a couple of handy places we can signpost for you. The Alzheimer's Society has a lot of information on daily exercise and benefits. Gov.uk will give you a little bit more information on falls and applying that to our health. There's NHS Falls Prevention, which has great information on how to keep fit. And Age UK. Well, thank you for joining us today, and I hope to see you all soon. Over to Lisa again.
Thanks, Holly. That was really informative. Brilliant. Well done. We've got, let's have a look. We've got a question from James. We've got two questions actually. If a resident is unable to get out of bed, how do you keep people engaged with the activities you offer?
Yeah, great. Thanks, James. So we also offer one-to-one activities if someone can't get out of bed. So we have our activity coordinators based on the group activities for the day, but also they are specifically given one-to-one activities too for our residents who can't become involved in the group activities, because there is a huge emphasis on isolation in care homes and prevention of that. So we need to make sure that if someone can't be involved in the group activities, it doesn't mean that they don't receive activity. It doesn't mean that they can't do the best of what they can do. Activities are all about looking at what someone can do and not what someone can't do. So we will always tailor our activities based on our residents and their abilities.
That's great. And another question, how do you make sure you tailor the activities for what people want to do?
Of course. So the best way is to ask someone, in my opinion. It's about having that conversation when someone comes into the care home. What do you like to do? What are your interests? It's also sometimes getting people involved in things that they wouldn't normally be involved in. So for example, we do have people coming into a care home who have never been arty in their entire life or never fancied gardening in their entire life, but actually being in a different environment and building social relationships with other members of the care home means that they're more likely to branch out and enjoy things that they didn't enjoy before. But we also like to look at someone's life history and what interested them before they come into their care home, what jobs they did, what social events they went to, what hobbies they had, and do our best to make sure that they continue living as they did before they came to us.
That's great, Holly. So are you able to adapt to some of the activities for people who have some kind of mobility impairment or visual impairment so that they're able to continue to live life to the fullest?
Of course, there's lots of different things that we can do. For example, I showed you bowling earlier, and bowling can become more difficult if you're, for example, in a wheelchair, but we'll adapt things like having ramps for someone to use so they can roll the ball down the ramp, and also supporting someone to do their best. So we might have someone gently supporting or guiding, or pieces of equipment that we can use. We've got pool noodles for someone who can't reach. For example, we have our interactive table, which is all about getting stretching forward and gentle exercise. And if someone can't reach as far, then we'll have equipments like feather dusters or the pool noodles, so someone can reach that a little bit further and encourage them to do it a little bit more without realizing.
That's perfect. Brilliant. Linda, do you have any questions for Holly? Is there anything you would like to know? You're just on mute, Linda.
Sorry.
There we go. We're away.
Yeah. No, I just, it's interesting, and I've got to say that activities have improved since Athena took over, to be honest. And I know I'm saying this about everything, but I can remember the time when the activity was just sitting with somebody while they put some letters on a board and got them to make words from, and the care staff, they were doing it rather than the resident. And that's not what it's all about, is it?
No.
No, and I think, you know, you've got such a range of activities now, and I just think it's so nice, and I love seeing them doing their activities on Facebook. So thank you.
It's our pleasure, Linda. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think one of the real keys is around the team having an interest in delivering something really positive for the resident. So it can become very, very much about the team member if that team member isn't focused on what the goal is, and the goal is for happier, more engaged residents. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it does show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Does anyone else have any more questions? No, that's perfect. So Holly, thank you so much for taking time out of your annual leave to come and support us with this this webinar, and to talk about the really interesting and exciting things that are going on in the homes. If anyone has any follow-up questions, you can contact us at Athena Care Homes or Holly at Amberley Hall. Otherwise, have a great day, everybody, and hopefully the sun will be shining at some point.